Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again. We're out here breathing in that fresh prana. The global conspiracy and finding the freedom within. What's helped me on my journey is to remember 3 words. Have no fear. Let love guide you and not fear. What on earth is happening in this world? We turn on the TV and we see fear, fear, fear. Look at what's happening in Turkey. People are protesting against the government. Look what Ed Snowden revealed about the NSA, that all our data online is being recorded. But we have to ask ourselves the greater question, is this new? This has always been going on in some form or fashion. What I've come to see is that to find the freedom within, we have to remember not to externalize our power. Government means to govern mental, to govern your mind. We created the government based on our own insecurity. That is the secret. All the power lies within ourselves. But to access that power, we have to know ourselves. The global conspiracy. Yes, it does exist. To keep you distracted from your true self. But it is there as a training program for you to know who you are. Because if the government did not exist, we would find something else to use as a scapegoat for not finding who we are. We have to ask ourselves, what are we focusing on? They will have a protest for stopping the war, but they won't have a protest for embracing nature. We have to ask ourselves and remember that whatever we focus on grows. And then ask ourselves, why are we addicted to fear? Bad news. All of this helps us find the freedom within. It's not about living in a world and being unhappy. Many of us, we want to fight the New World Order. Whatever you fight, you give power to. Resistance makes stronger. And that's what they want. But who is they? We have to even ask ourselves that question. I made a video a long time ago called Illuminati Are Us. We have to see, what are we doing every day to become more free? Because if we are not working towards our freedom, then we are heading towards our own slavery. Yes, the global conspiracy is very much alive. Did people really go to the moon? How do you know? Some people might say that Stanley Kubrick filmed the whole thing, because that was the same time when the Space Odyssey 2001 came out. He filmed it on a green screen. What are you talking about? You're just another conspiracy theorist. But there is something there, because we see how the vibration on planet Earth has devolved to such a level that many people don't want to be here. When in essence, planet Earth is a paradise island. We all came here to be free. Being free is our birthright. In finding the freedom within, we have to focus internally. And that's why the majority of my videos are focusing on the power of the mind. The greatest form of control is through the mind. Therefore, you have to see how the media use psychological manipulation to keep you in a perpetual state of fear. To find the freedom within, we have to become aware of ourselves. Before we can change the world, we have to change ourselves. We have to look in the mirror and say, who am I? What did I come to this planet to do? We came here to have fun, to be free. But how come we are the only species on the planet that lives in constant fear? It's time to embrace nature again. Eat organic food so we can begin to feel alive. All of this helps us find the freedom within. There is no greater power than yourself. So for me, I have no fear of the global conspiracy because, in essence, I create the global conspiracy by what I'm focusing on. That is the secret. Two great films which are fantastic to watch. Control Factor, made in 2003, starring Elizabeth Berkley. And this film is amazing because it talks about all what is coming out right now. That all of your phone calls are being recorded. Anything you write online is being stored in a computer somewhere. This film shows it all. Facebook and how everyone is being monitored. And we are giving away our information free. Aldous Huxley talked of there will come a time where human beings begin to love their slavery. This was the guy who wrote The Brave New World. Fascinating stuff. And that is what's happening. We are beginning to love our slavery. Another great film, Wag the Dog, starring Robert De Niro. And in that film, it's funny because you see how new stories are just generated like a film, and it's all one big joke. The 3D life we're living is nothing more than a game. We have to begin to open our minds and see that the body, mind, and spirit are all interconnected. So we have to see, what am I doing with my body? Am I just sitting down and absorbing all of this fear into me? Or am I going out into nature, meditating, whatever that may be to you, and being thankful every day for life? Many of us, we've given over our soul and our heart to this system. We are creating a world, but we don't know what we're creating. I said in my diary, society is like a drunk driver going at 300 miles per hour on the freeway with its eyes closed, heading for a cliff. Because many of us have become desensitized on the planet. The only way to find your freedom is to become sensitive to all the beauty around you. Begin to connect with kindred spirits. Share your journey. But we have to ask ourselves, are we contributing to a system which is killing itself? That's why I made the choice a long time ago to fulfill the dream, to help humanity raise the vibration, to become the greatest version of yourself. What are you doing to inspire other people to become the greatest versions of themselves? The global conspiracy works by keeping you in the illusion world, which is the Maya, locked into your 5 senses. Finding the freedom within is about realizing and remembering that we are multi-dimensional beings. The television tells lies to your vision. We have to tell our vision. More so, the only way to rise above all of the distraction is to take 100% responsibility. 5 words: I am not a victim. The more you blame outside of yourself, you will always feel helpless. Whatever you fear becomes your God. How come the devil appears more powerful than God? The devil is within you. It's archetype, just as heaven and hell. You see, so we have to remember that normally what we fear holds more power over what we love. We have to reverse that. In this society, that's how we've been programmed. Love should always be in front of fear. And the more you can do that, the more the global conspiracy will not affect you. So long as you put fear in front of love, you have a big problem. We have to begin to embrace the true authenticity of who we are. The time is now. It's time to take it to the next level. To live in reverse is evil. L-I-V-E-E-V-I-L. The global conspiracy is all about making people live in reverse. To find the freedom within, we have to live in harmony within ourselves. We have to remember we create our own reality. That is why we don't even see that the schools which many children are being taught are programming their minds because they are not teaching them about themselves. Educare, meaning to bring out. And that is the secret. We have to question. That is how to find the freedom within. The global conspiracy just wants you to accept. We have to look at everything with a critical eye. Most of all, we have to have fun. That's the whole thing. Having fun, you raise your vibration. That is the fastest way to raise your vibration. So that's what it's all about. Find your true self by going on the journey within. The global conspiracy always keeps you looking outside of yourself. The aliens exist, the Anunnaki. The more you externalize your power, the more you lose yours. And that is all about finding the freedom within. You have to let go of fear immediately. We have to remember that it is us who are doing the majority of what's taking place on this planet. Yes, there are other entities involved on higher planes. However, in the 3D, much of what is happening is because many people are not living in their heart. Instead, they are following a program. We have to take back our power. More so, we have to unleash the power within ourselves. Finding the freedom within is about starting now. The global conspiracy does not exist until you give it power. Yes, there are wars happening. There are people who are finding more ways to keep us in debt. But this is only because we have collectively agreed for this to be the case. This is what we call the consensus reality. The only way the consensus reality can change is when you out there change. We cannot expect the world to change before we do. We have to take back our power and to be free. There is no fear until you create it. We're in nature. Enjoy yourself. Infinite waters. Diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.
you.